Hi, I'm Olga and welcome to my kitchen. And today we're going to be making a really delicious crispy crackers. But because it's my kitchen, they're going to be grain-free and very low in carbs. I'm very proud to present to you this recipe because I've been working on it for a while and I feel like it's perfect right now. These crackers, if you give it to your friends who regularly eat grains, they would not even know that this is made without any grains whatsoever, because they're crispy and so delicious. My husband absolutely loves them, and when I make them, I make a big batch because I know they're gonna be gone really quickly, and I really don't like spending that much time in the kitchen to be cooking them over and over. Also, I wanted to mention that the recipe that I'm going to be making today is going to be making 48 of these crackers. So it's going to be two cookie sheet size trays of crackers. But in the recipe below, I'm going to give you the recipe for only half of this recipe in case you want to make only one tray. You're going to find the recipe below in the description to this video. However, I highly suggest that you watch the whole video to the end because I share all the secrets of how I'm making it. I show you the dough at different stages, what it's supposed to look like, how I spread it, like everything. I'm very detailed in my recipes. And also in the end, we're gonna taste the recipe that I'm making today, and we're gonna see if my dogs are gonna be interested in trying it today. So lots of interesting stuff. Also, I'm gonna share with you storage information at the end. So make sure to watch it till the end and click a like to this video. For this recipe, we're going to need, first of all, we're gonna need chia seeds and flaxseed meal. This is going to be our egg replacement. It's kind of like vegan egg, but of course it's also seeds and lots of fiber, lots of omega-3s in there. Then we need flours. We need a little bit of coconut flour, a little bit of almond flour, and a little bit of arrowroot flour. Then we need baking soda and to activate it with apple cider vinegar. Then for flavors, you need soy sauce. Use gluten-free soy sauce. Even though this one does not say gluten-free on the front, it is gluten-free. And cumin. You need a little bit of salt. I'm gonna use this time a little bit of Italian seasoning, so to make my crackers taste like herbs. And we also need some seeds, sunflower seeds and pumpkin. And for the equipment, you need an oven. Here you need a large oven to fit two large 12 inches by 17 inches cookie sheets. I think it's 43 by 30 centimeters. If you want to make a smaller amount of crackers, then you can use the recipe for only half of the amount. Then you're going to need only one cookie sheet for that. And then you need some mixing bowls. You need a mixing bowl for your egg replacement and a larger bowl to mix everything together, and some measuring spoons. I'm going to start the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. It's 190 degrees Celsius. First thing we need to do is to prepare our egg replacement, something that will bind the whole thing together, and this will be chia seeds and flaxseed meal. So I'm going to use measuring spoons. We need half a cup of flaxseed meal. So we used half a cup of flaxseed meal and a quarter of a cup of chia. And now I need to mix it with, let me see how much, following my own recipe here, 1 cup of warm water. So I'm going to use 1 cup of warm, it doesn't have to be boiling hot, but it has to be at least warm. Okay, now I'm going to mix it in to allow so they don't get stuck together, especially chia. And now I'm going to let this sit while I'm preparing the rest of the ingredients. And then we need to remember to put some more water into this mix. In a larger mixing bowl, we're going to mix 1.5 cups of almond flour, 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, and 1/4 of a cup of arrowroot flour. Arrowroot flour is feeding the good bacteria in your gut, and it's also will give a little crispiness to the whole bread. And 1 tablespoon of cumin. The dogs got excited here. Stop, guys. I'm filming a video. Stop it. I have 2 dogs in the house now. My dog and my father-in-law's dog, who is visiting us for a few days. And they got very excited about the mailman coming over. All right, we're done. Can we continue? Thank you. I just wanted to mention that when I'm making a dough like this, I don't like using a regular whisk because things get always stuck inside of it and it's soft, doesn't mix well. I like to use a beater from the hand mixer. It's sturdy and things don't get stuck inside of it. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of soy sauce. I like soy sauce in here because it adds a little bit of kind of flavor to it. I use about a teaspoon and a half. This is half a tablespoon of soy sauce. It gives it nice flavor. And I'm also gonna add this time some Italian seasoning herbs. This is just herbs. About a teaspoon of baking soda and about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. It will activate the baking soda, but also add good flavor to these crackers. Half a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm gonna mix everything together again. This is what the dough looks like before we add the egg replacement to it. Now into this egg replacement mix that's fully gelatinized, you see it became like pasty. We're gonna add a cup of cold water, cold filtered water, and I'm going to mix it well. So this is what flax and chia mix look like after I added cold water to it, and now it's ready to be mixed in with the rest of the dough here. Now I just need to mix it. Almost there. We just want to mix all the ingredients well before adding the seeds. This is what the dough looks like before we add the seeds to it. Soft and spreadable. And the last ingredients we're going to add is sunflower seeds and pumpkin seed. In the recipe I calculated the calories for half a cup of sunflower seeds and half a cup of pumpkin seeds. However, if you want to reduce the calories, use a little bit less of seeds. You can use a third of a cup or even a quarter of a cup of seeds of each seeds only, and that will quite noticeably reduce the amount of calories in per serving. And this is what the dough looks like when it's ready to go on the cookie sheets. Now I just need to split this dough in half and spread it as thin as I can on the cookie sheets from corner to corner. So you see I'm just gonna be now for a while standing here and spreading it as thin as I can. So you see I stretched out one tray thinly. I try to make it as even as I can because I want it to be baked evenly. So I did one tray now as evenly as I could, and now onto the other one. And you want to use a silicone spatula like this because the dough this way does not get stuck to the silicone, and it just makes your job a little bit easier. It's ready to go into the oven. It took a little bit to spread them evenly. I actually put on the first tray a little bit less dough. So on the second one it's going to be a little bit thicker. Just a tiny bit, but that's why I'm gonna put this one on the top rack in the oven, closer to the coils. I have an electric oven, and I'm gonna put the timer on now for 10 minutes. I'll show you why I'm doing this in a few minutes. My oven just beeped, 10 minutes marker, and I'm gonna take out the trays, and I wanna cut them into 24 squares each tray, so they're gonna be easier to separate into crackers when the whole thing is cooked. Pizza cutter is the easiest thing to use, so I'm gonna cut it into 4 strips lengthwise, and then I'm gonna split it into 6 even parts this way. Now both trays are back in the oven, and I'm gonna put the timer on for another 25 minutes. And I just wanted to mention that every oven is different, especially if you use a gas stove and stuff for the fire. Every oven is different, so I recommend that when you're cooking it first time, always put a few minutes less than I say in the recipe, just to and then check on it frequently. Timer just beeped at 25 minutes, and you see they're still kind of bendy. So I want them to cook for at least 5 more minutes. The 30-minute timer beeped, and technically I can just shut them off now and just let them cool down in the cooling down oven. and they will get to the right crispiness. But because I'm impatient right now and I want them to be done so I can finish filming this video, I am gonna give them another 5 more minutes. In the end, I ended up leaving them for like 15 to 20 minutes in the oven, and to dry it out I got busy with something else in the house, and they smell divine. The herb smell is delicious now. See? Alright, it's done. The tray is still hot that I have to hold it with a towel, but it turned out perfect. My house smells like beautiful herbs because of the herbal seasoning that I added to them, and they are nice, thin, crispy. I ended up leaving them in the oven for maybe like 15 minutes just to crisp them up a little bit. I shut off the oven and then I just left them in there, and that did the trick to crisp them up. So total in the oven is probably close to an hour, but totally worth it. Now I have 48 good sized crackers. This is the close-up. Look at this. They are very crispy and very delicious. Let's look at the nutritional value for each cracker. So we get 48 crackers out of this recipe, but I'm also gonna post the recipe for only half of this amount. So if you wish to cook only one tray, you can do that. So each cracker is, of course, it's rounding up. It's gonna be about 47 calories. Total fat is 3.7 grams. Carbohydrates, 2.5 grams, but 1.35 grams of them is fiber. So we end up with only 1.2 grams of fiber per each cracker, which makes them very low carb. And protein is 1.7 grams. So it's really good, right? Now it's time to finally taste the crackers. And of course I have company here already, 2 dogs that wanna try it with me. But I'm actually hungry now for lunch, and I'm gonna have some of these crackers with my salad. But let's taste it. I'm sure you can hear how crispy it is. It's so delicious. It's hard to stop eating them, but remember, each of them is about 50 calories, so you need to be mindful of that fact that they're kind of caloric. And because we pre-cut the crackers before, remember, after 10 minutes, they're very easy to separate, even though some thin parts break off a little bit. Very easy to break them. So if you like this idea of making grain-free crackers that you can enjoy at any time, and that are also very low carb and completely vegan, I really appreciate if you click a like to this video and subscribe to my channel. I have a whole playlist with grain-free baking recipes and many other delicious recipes that are good for you and healthy. And now my dogs want to try the bread as well. It's not really doggy bread, guys, but you can have a piece. And Skylark. Sky and Scout approve. You hear how crunchy it is for them? They approve of it. Right now I'm doing a detox program. It's a 1-month detox program that includes a 1 week of intestinal detox. And during this intestinal detox program, the diet has to be very low in proteins and in fats. So it has to be mainly plant based, and I'm actually vlogging during this whole week, recording every meal I make and everything how I'm feeling during this week. So the diet needs to be high in plants and fibers. These crackers are perfect for this week during my intestinal detox because they're high in fiber, they're low in carbs still, and they're completely vegan, crunchy and delicious, and go with almost everything I'm eating. I'm really happy with it. Day 6 lunch is gonna be a big salad. I put some Napa cabbage in here, lettuce, some greens, some green onion, and red cabbage. I'm gonna finish this leftover of pickled veggies. I already have new ones cooking on the counter, and I'm gonna have some of these crackers. I just finished filming the video for them. They are made with herbs, and it's gonna be delicious. Detox dinner, day 6. This is second to last detox packet I'm taking, and I'm gonna finish my soup. I'm really enjoying it, so I might as well finish it. And I'm gonna have it with some yogurt that I make and my crackers.